right, we're here. Welcome to the new season of the podcast. The podcast has a new name, Webby. HPHQ. What do you reckon?
What's that stand for?
Horsepower Headquarters, mate.
Awesome. Hey, mate, good to see you. Where you been for 3 months? What have you been doing?
Mate, I've been working flat out on lots of cool stuff for this season and into next year for lots of car stuff and lots of mad, crazy, just madness, you know. I don't think I can put it down to one thing, but it's just a whole washing machine of insanity. It's been a bit of a break since the last episode. I've got to say, though, before we cut to a chat, that this podcast is brought to you by the world's wildest car festival, Summer Nats. All things lead back to Summer Nats, Webby.
Absolutely, they sure do, mate. And look, it's great to be on again. It's been really interesting. We haven't been on for a few months, as everybody knows, and I've been to a couple of events, and it's interesting. People say, "When are you coming back? When's the podcast starting again?" It's been really cool, eh?
Absolutely, yeah. And you know what? Here we are. We're back.
Awesome, loving it.
What have you been up to, mate? Been flat out?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm pretty busy with work. We're going back into full work mode at the moment. Things are really busy in the whole retail world, and just the amount of vehicles being built. So people, we'll probably touch on that a little bit later, but I've got over 40 new cars which want to be unveiled either at MotorX or the Summer Nats event in March. So. Yeah, just I've been obviously dealing with a lot of those people and obviously all our new events. We've been doing trophy lists and organising.
Been a few changes since we've been gone, a few changes?
Yeah, a lot of changes. What have we got, 5 or 6 events coming up now in the first part of next year, so looking forward to all that.
Absolutely, and fingers crossed, we're looking pretty good here in Australia. We're not going to, count our chickens yet, but everything's been so good and we're everybody's been very responsible. I see a lot of people out doing the right thing now. It's a bit of a change, from so that's really good. We want these car events to happen, and they are happening.
They'll all happen, I believe. So looking forward to next year.
Yeah, absolutely. And one that is happening soon is obviously Summer Nats Slam coming up January 8 to 10.
Yep,
mate. I'm so pumped for that. Like to see Sydney Dragway lashed out with all the crazy people we know and crazy car and entrants and the spectators that we know love the event and get around, and there's people are certainly looking forward to it.
Look, and we're going to be obviously limited there in entries and numbers and spectators, everything, but we're just about full. So, and I've actually had people contacted me already that saying that they couldn't get in or can't get in. So I know there are still some spots left. So get on the website and get yourself organised.
Absolutely. There are some entries and spectator tickets still available. There will be no spectator tickets available at the gate. Only online. So get them there. Right, to kick on with the show, this week we're going to have Dave Cafone and John O'Kelly on to talk about all things crazy burnout cars and high RPM. High RPM is what we're sort of going to have a chat to them about, Webby.
They're definitely known for that, mate. John O'Kelly, mate, brand new motor, somewhere up around 9,000 revs of his brand new motor at Red Centre. So, they're looking forward to having a chat with those guys.
And I believe he told Brett from B&R that he only revved it to 7,800 at Red Centre. So we all know that's a massive lie.
Of course.
And then we've got a new segment called with you and Rachel, actually, Webby, called Shop Talk. So what's that all about?
Look, Rach is awesome. She's over there in Western Australia, and she does House of Colour. She's building cars. She's working for a paint company as well over there. She's just so under the pump, but she give up plenty of her time, and we're going to do a 10-part series, and we're going to do one question. It'll be about purchasing a vehicle, building it, and then getting it ready for a show and actually showing it. So it'll be like the whole process, and that'll be look. There's a lot of different opinions, a lot of different ways you can go about things, but what we've just done is a really good overview of the whole process. And she's just such an awesome chick. So
and parts that sort of from starting to buy the car and then when you're at the show.
100%. I even said, we even go with one question I'm going to ask her straight up, and probably do it on tonight's one actually, will be, would you buy a car off the internet? So it'll be right from purchasing that car.
Perfect. And then after that, we've actually got a new segment. We run a game show in the first season for a number of episodes, and then we've got a new game show with a new host. It's got a totally new host on there, so that's going to be cool. And we've got on that Lynchy and Matt Watts together with that new host, so that's going to be really cool. It's a bit of a something extra for this kind of podcast. So stick around. We're going to cut to a break, and then we'll be back with Dave Cafone and John O'Kelly.
Back with the boys.
Summer Nats is the place to go. Everybody's here.
Summer Nats would like you to know that there's some exclusive new merch available now. Cool stuff like this, or this, and this, and this. Are we selling G-strings?
What?
There's also merch from previous Summer Nats events, Burnout Masters merch, and more. Be sure to click the Buy Now button to secure your exclusive merch. Mad. Do I have to give this shirt back? Can I have a free hat? Mad. All right, welcome back to the first episode of this podcast with our new guests. We have here John O'Kelly and Dave Cafone. How you going, guys?
Yeah, great, mate. Thank you.
Awesome. Obviously, Webster, what's happening, mate?
Plenty happening. I haven't seen these guys since Red Centre Nats, so welcome aboard, guys. Great to have you.
Yeah, Red Centre Nats, what a great event. And no doubt a fun trip for you guys travelling up from Adelaide to, up to the middle of Northern Territory there. Must be great.
Yeah, it is probably the best trips. We love those ones. They're good.
It's a wonder you drove the Chevelle everywhere up there, Dave. Tell me you didn't drive it up there on the road as well. Is that right?
What's that? The Chevelle?
Yeah. Did you? You probably drove it from Adelaide, knowing you, did you?
No. We trailered it because we were too busy partying in the bus on the way there.
Man, you done plenty of driving around Alice. I saw that everywhere.
Yeah, no, that's a great event. I love it. Absolutely love it.
It's good.
Yeah. In this podcast, what we want to talk about, we're running around topics. So this topic we wanted to hit up here, no better to have you guys, is the naturally aspirated engines that rev really hard. Like they really, people can talk a lot about the blown stuff, but we really want to touch on the NA stuff because as a spectator, the NA stuff sounds so good.
Yeah, it does.
It sounds so good. So just to kick it off, I'll start with either of you guys who want to answer. You guys can pick. I'll let you guys fight over that. What made you what do you love about the NA engine and the noise? What's the appeal mostly?
Johnny?
They just rev good. I don't know. I've always had NA. Dave's been blowing all his whole time he's had cars.
Yeah.
And he's just gone to NA only the last couple of years. So I just love them because they rev those engines are real nice.
They got a nice tune to them. They're just like sweet, perfect.
Yeah, nice. What do you think, people who are thinking about going NA, like they've got a project car they're building at the moment, what do you think they need to consider about building an NA engine? You can even break it down into a few parts. Let's go, what type of motor, reliability, and, what you can expect.
It'd be what sort of RPM they want to do. Probably the main thing, they can put a beautiful engine together, but it all boils down to the engine tuner to do what you're doing with the car. If you're just going to use the car for burnouts, then you tune the car to burnouts, and you got the right tuner, you'll get good life out of the engine.
Yeah, nice.
So, do you tune, like you have the same engine builder and tuner, you guys?
Yes.
Which is Brent, correct?
Yep. Yeah, B&Rs.
Yeah, fantastic. Is he still talking to you? Is he still talking to you, Jono, after a brand new NASCAR engine, I believe, at Red Centre, revving to 9,000?
Yeah, he thinks I tell him I'm revving that like that. He thinks it's higher, but never believes me.
He just goes, it's okay, it's your money.
You complain if something goes wrong.
I actually did see a little Facebook thing going on there that Brett was getting on there when you posted up something in one of the videos from Red Centre Nats, and he got on there and said you can rev it all you want.
Yeah, as long as you got
the dollars.
That's right.
That's right.
So just on that, Jono, like being a brand new engine, I think it was brand new at that event. So you would still expect what sort of life expectancy would you get out of that engine? Remember it that hard?
I don't know. Brett said just keep the revs down, and it should last a while, and do all the maintenance you got to do. But he's saying if you keep the revs nice, you should be fine. 10 years.
Just for some of the viewers, I guess, explain what the new motor is, John, if you can, in your car.
It's a Dodge NASCAR engine, Mopar.
Yeah, nice. So the capacity is
358 cubic inch,
yep.
which classes a 6 litre.
Yeah.
dry sump.
And you've probably tested a few motors in your VK now. What's the new motor compared to, like, maybe talk us through some of the motors you've had up to this point?
The first engine I had was a 6.2 litre LS.
Yep.
That was good. Then I went to a 6 litre because I blew the 6.2 up. And, yeah.
As you do.
Yeah, and then the 6 litre lasted a good couple of years until something happened to it. And then we started on a new one, which is the NASCAR engine. And
so why did you go, when you say a Dodge block, so is that actually a Dodge block, or like it's a Dodge, a Mopar engine, is it?
The Mopar engine, yep.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And Dave, I guess...
No spark plugs on top. The spark plugs are in the side like a normal...
Like a small block.
Like a small block Chev.
And it fits like that in the Commodore body?
A bit of modifications, but it does fit.
Yeah, I heard it and saw it at Red Sandats, and it sounded 100% on point, mate.
Thanks for that.
And Dave, your car sounded ripper on the drags, mate, when you were running that in the drag racing. I remember I saw you on I think it was the Friday, and you said not only the burnouts, but we're going to have a go in the drags. How was that with, going from driving blown stuff in the past to having an NA motor that's pretty quick?
Oh, look, the NA, they're a bloody good engine. They got good power.
Yeah.
Obviously, again, you can't do burnouts and you can't do drags with the same combo. So basically, you got to change gear ratio, tyres, this and that for drag racing. But we still kept it as a burnout setup, which obviously it lagged off the line. But it's still you put the proper set of gears in there, no doubt it'll run in the nines.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, lots of fun. So I definitely want to keep hitting the drags. If there's no burnouts for a while, we'll hit some, roll racing, whatever.
Yeah.
Can I ask you what the risks are with an NA engine over a blown engine? Like, is it a case of a blown engine, you can make it a bit more lazy and it might last longer, but the pressures are there from the boost, then the NA motor is a lot more high comp and high stress type thing?
Well, with the NA, you just fluctuate in the accelerator just to keep the RPM on a happy point.
Yep.
With the blown, it's a lot different. Like 1 minute you touch it, it's too high, you go down. So it's a lot more easier to keep it consistent with an aspirated. The blown's good, plenty of power, they jump around all over the joint, but aspirated just seems nice and easy.
We've got some music there going in the background.
We'll tell him off in a minute.
It's all right. All good. All good. Everybody's probably at home checking their phones, thinking their phone's ringing.
Yeah.
So in the lead up to a burnout event, I guess the motor's turn up tuned for you, Jono, so to come to Red Sandats, the most recent event, and you don't have to touch it at all, the whole event pretty much.
No, it's all I do. I picked the motor up from the transport company on a Wednesday morning.
Yep.
Brett delivered it Tuesday night and put in the car and started first turn, ran, put on the trailer, straight to Red Centre, ready for some skids.
Straight to below 9,000 RPM, right?
Yeah, a little bit below 9.
78.
It's about 7-8, I think.
Yeah, fantastic.
I don't believe you, mate.
Yeah.
Brett doesn't believe me either.
I think the data logger will tell the story there, no doubt.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. I guess, so what's your favourite moment, you think, John, over the years in the car? It could be in any of its parts, whether it's recently at Red Sandats or, any other event in the past. Like, what's been a sweet spot for you where the car's just been amazing and it's, given you love the NA life,
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. It's hard to say. I love all burnout comps. I'll go to as many as I can.
Yep.
Best thing I like, doing the skids with my mates.
Yeah.
And then driving off the pad, putting on the trailer. That's the best thing I like, and not breaking it.
Driving it on the trailer. I remember a lot of people saying that last season. Driving it on the trailer was the best feeling of the whole weekend.
Yeah,
that's a winning skid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a winning skid and you haven't broken anything. But interesting, just listen to this. Both of you guys, even though you have killer engines, you both actually got, although a lot of burnout cars are really good these days, but you both got really good burnout cars and body-wise and paint-wise. So you obviously like the whole aspect of the whole thing, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't go to a burnout show with banged up stuff. It's got to be clean, ready to go. Then you fix it when it gets back.
Yeah, you've always had good stuff, but this car is exceptional, isn't it, Dave? Like it's a top car.
Yeah. When I build the Chevelle again, it'll be better than this one. Trust me.
Yeah, okay.
What's it like then? What's the Nova like on the burnout pad compared to other stuff you've had before, Dave?
Well, put it this way: we threw the car together for not last Red Santa, the one before.
Yeah.
I got a wheel on it. It was just like last minute, chuck it on the trailer, and we haven't even turned the tyres, and that was last year, not last year, year before. And we only just got it wheel aligned, which was miles out of whack, just before we took to the last Red Santa Nat. So it actually drove properly for the first time. So other than that, all the shows I've taken it to, it's very, very hard to steer it. But with anything with constant RPM, it's pretty easy to steer if it's like set up properly. So it should be good. I'll let you know.
I'm sure.
Yeah, cool. What have you got a favourite moment in Novakill so far, Dave?
Just Red Saturday. So I like taking it out there, using the car, using it on the road, using it in the parades, using it on the burnout pad, using it at the drags. That is good.
Yeah, it's pretty good when you can do all of that, eh?
Yeah, when you can do all of that, man, that's using your car properly.
Isn't that parade just something else?
Oh, it's wonderful, isn't it? It's my first time last year, and that has to be one of my favourite events. Like, it's very, it's so laid out around the town. It makes it feel like you're just living in a city the whole time, and there's just everything's going on. Even with the restricts that were in, with COVID and stuff over the year, it was, if not better, the best place to have an event because it was so spread out.
Yeah, very much so. So I guess you guys haven't done any events in South Australia this year. You haven't been nothing on, has there?
Nah, nothing at all.
My car's been parked up since Red Santa Nats. It just rolled off the trailer and that's where it stayed.
Yeah, wow. No good.
I've got a couple static car shows. So I've driven it from home to a couple car shows and that's it really.
Yeah.
Which ones blow the tyres off quicker, Dave? The blown stuff or the NA?
I don't know. Hey, the blown stuff seems to rip it off pretty quick. And I still get rid of it.
Yeah, I mean, this year, go back to Summer Nats. I spent a bit of time on the side of the burnout pad, and just the sound of that motor in your car, it just, compared to a lot of other cars, like the blown stuff, it doesn't they all sound great, and a lot of them, have their different sounds for different reasons, but there's certain sweet spots you hear in certain cars, and it was just, I was waiting for a piston to come out hunting for me, and I was ready to duck, but I was revving that hard.
I used to finish a lot of the comps there, especially Summer Nats, because you step it up to the RPM, get it, the best you can, and I used to drive it off the pad thinking, wow, man, still holding together, good old crap.
I'm sure he's either happy or happy, because if it blows up, he gets to have a bit of fun and rebuild it again, but happy that it lasts because, it's a credit to him.
Yeah, he is a champion for sure.
He does a good job.
So what are you guys looking forward to most about 2021?
Well, it was going to be Summer Nats, but that's sort of changed. But I don't know.
A few changes. We got Summer Nats Slam and then Summer Nats Rock and Roll back in March. So
I want to go to that one.
Yeah,
we hope to see you there, mate. Definitely. You think you'll get back to Red Santa next year?
100%.
100%.
Yeah. It seems to be the very, very popular on everybody's list, Red Santa Nats. I think that one, Webby, will sell out, no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that went on sale the day after, on the Monday after we were there, and I think they were slammed straight away. So, yeah, absolutely.
But even the burnout pad there, the burnout pad's still killer as well. It's not just the good show.
Yeah.
Even if you just go on there for the burnouts, it's a bloody good pad.
And the crowd
interesting. That's an interesting comment. They said, "Why did you say that? What is there good and bad pads, or but there's better pads, ones you prefer?"
Anything that you can go up an entry, it's not just a boring square, you know what I mean, or a rectangle.
Yep.
Summer Nats, it leans, puts a challenge on. So Red Santa Nats definitely a good pad.
Yeah, good.
Just before we go, thanks for coming on, guys. Really appreciate you having you on here. I'm sure everybody's, likes the insight that you guys are the superstars, along with, heaps of other people that attend these events, and, you're the spectacle. So we appreciate your time, but I will grab a question off each of you. Ask you a question, rather. What's the most important thing when building a burnout car, Jono?
Make sure you get a good engine tuner and a good engine and just build the car properly. That's what I think.
Yeah. What do you reckon, Dave?
Right.
You got to start off with a car that's American, then paint it black. Add big rubber. And just build it to use it, not just sit there. It's got to be used. You got to use it for. Yeah, it's got to be built to be used. So if it needs extra fuel, put a bigger fuel tank in. Use the car.
Yeah, that's a good comment, because that's one thing I mentioned there earlier, Dave. You in particular, I did see Jono as well, but you in particular, I saw you drag racing, burnouts, doing the cruise, and then also just driving on the street up there. So you got a car which is capable of winning a burnout comp, but you can also use it, which is really killer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Jono's got probably more driving than me.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Jono, did you actually get out of the car?
Sometimes.
I saw you at the casino on the Sunday, so I know you got out of it at some point, but I know you spent a lot of time in it.
You didn't have to get out for a week. We'd get out the bus in the morning, he was still in the car holding the steering wheel instead of going to bed.
I reckon you could sell tickets to that bus. It sounds like a pretty good time.
Yeah, I reckon.
It's a good bus.
I bet. Awesome. Thanks for coming on, guys. Really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you.
No worries. We'll see you hopefully at the next event that you guys come to, and we'll see you then.
All right, take care, guys.
Okay, see you guys.
Bye.
See ya.
Wham Bam is Summonat Slam. Australia's biggest horsepower party is coming to Sydney Dragway. 3 huge days of motorsport action. Hundreds of Australia's wildest rides on show. Drag racing monsters, Skid Row, Show and Shine, Motorcana, and a huge start of the year VIP meet. Summonat Slam entries are open, and strictly limited social distance tickets are on sale now. Get yours now at summonats.com.au. Yeah, you.
How great is it to be back on the podcast? Fantastic. And I got such a fantastic guest this time. I got Rach from Derbs Customs. Welcome, Rach.
Thanks for having me. It's really good to be here once again. I've missed you loads.
Yeah. Hey, we've missed you. And look, what we're going to do is we're going to talk to you, because I can see in the background there, you've got that fantastic truck which you've been working on, and must have 10 million followers on that, so everybody will know you now well and truly. And we're going to talk about sourcing a car and then actually working on that car and then getting that ready for a show and then showing it. So we'll cover different over the next 10 weeks. We'll actually cover different areas. So let's start tonight. So yeah, just firstly, Rach, you've been painting for a long time and buying and building cars, haven't you? How long?
I've been painting since I was about 15. I got into it. I'm 33 now. So quite a while. I started off from the very basics of sweeping floors and doing whatnot. And then, still doing it till this day. And I'll never stop. I pretty much love it. Yeah,
I know you love it, eh? It's fantastic. And just a little bit about behind you there, that's your new truck. It's just a little rundown.
Yeah, so the truck behind me, it's the 63 Chevy C10 panel truck. And I literally bought it this time last year. So it's been a year turnaround since I've bought this car, and this weekend is the weekend that it's finished. So it's a year to build this, which is actually quite quick for a build, which anyone could understand.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's part of what I also want to touch on. We'll touch on costs and we'll touch on build. And look, and there's no absolute 100%. Everybody will have a bit of a different view on this, but what we're doing is an overview of how to source a vehicle, what you actually want to get out of that vehicle, then building it and preparing it for a show. So, first question to you: give us and that'd be a good example of what you got. How would you go about sourcing a vehicle?
Usually sourcing a vehicle, I would try and think of something that has a really good connection with myself and why I want buy that particular vehicle. So when I first thought of even, say, the Chevy, I've always wanted one, even though I've bought many other vehicles before this one. This one is my showpiece, even though it's not a show car for me. So I still want to be able to try and choose the correct one. The way I try to source this one is I've looked through social media, all kinds of magazines, all kinds of internet websites about trying to buy particular vehicles, because I wanted it at a certain stage already at its life where I didn't have to spend years trying to restore it. So that's the reason why I went for what I went for. But yeah, you've got lots of different ways of finding cars these days, which is actually really good. And you go back to the old ways of driving through the countryside and trying to snoop through everyone's yards. It's my favourite.
I was going to say, Rach, back in my day, we used to look on the trading post, but you wouldn't remember that. You're too young for that, aren't you?
The trading post used to be my favourite Thursday.
No way. No way.
Smoko time, grab the pie, grab the trading post, don't talk to anyone else in the smoko room for that Thursday. And and like you just pretty much, it was the best way, because like no one back then knew how to load pictures of cars and stuff like that. So you try and find someone that didn't know what they were doing, which was great back then.
Absolutely.
Now too many people know everything.
Yeah. No, so that's good. So question to you, would you buy a vehicle sight unseen? I mean, I asked that for a particular reason, that I'd be very nervous, but a lot of people will buy cars like out of the states or interstate or whatever. So would you buy a car sight unseen?
Back in the day, I would have said no, but now this car behind me was sight unseen, and the only reason why I bought this one sight unseen is because it was my dream car. I'd be a bit more hesitant about buying a car sight unseen if I was buying to flip a car, but to buy to keep and something that is very dear to my heart, as in this car is behind me, I pretty much will never sell this car. The only way sight unseen, like, it has to be some pretty good videos and photos and whatnot, but when you know with the gut feeling.
You want to see photos down around the quarter panels and places where you know there'll be rust and stuff like that. So that's what you'd be asking for, wouldn't you? Stuff like that. Yeah. Definitely.
The first question is when I say to them, I want the videos, just go straight to the bad parts. I just want to see the worst parts.
Yeah.
And even if you think it's not that bad, I want to see it all. Yeah. Just go to the worst parts first, because then I can pick from there of how bad it actually is.
All right. So, look, we're just going to the only thing I also want to cover off on this question is I think it's really important. Well, it is really important. Interested in your views on, you really got to know what you want to do with that vehicle, whether you want to use it as a driver, whether you want to be street elite, or a full show, correct?
Correct. As soon as you start your build, or we're even thinking about doing a build, you need to know what direction you're heading. So if you're looking at just a street cruiser, you can be a bit more lenient with things. When it comes to doing a show car, you really need to pick whether you're going to be cutting it up, whether you're going to be leaving it stock and you're just going to do the premium of what it is, a concourse car, or if you're just going to chop it, as you would say, whether you would actually find something that's a bit more ratty and go from there, because you don't really want to cut up something that's beautiful already.
Yeah, that really, I've seen it over and over through the years. People will just cut up either an ex-show car or a really good car, and they chopping the floor out of it, chopping the roof. You should just go and buy an old rusty thing and chop it up and do that, eh? So, again, that's about sourcing the right vehicle, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's a main part of the main part, which is why it's question one of why we do what we do.
Yeah, awesome. That's it for the first week. So what we've done is we've sourced the vehicle, worked out what you want to build, and we'll catch up with you next week again, Rach, all right?
All right, thanks for having me this week.
All right, Mad Quiz Battle is all about finding the smartest people on Earth. The winner of this will go into a final battle. We'll have everybody in from all the episodes coming up. So whoever loses this, you're a loser and you're out.
Fair enough. Those are harsh terms, but I accept.
It is.
I'll pack my bags and go home now.
All right. So if you want to buzz in, there's going to be 5 questions. Obviously, these questions are based around a little bit around Summernats. There's a couple of car questions in there as well. If you want to buzz in, just pump your buzzer. It can be whatever you want.
Shit.
You want? All right.
Shit.
What do you want, Lynchy?
I don't know. Nah.
Question 1. Who does the burnouts in the burnout team? No, I'm only joking. That's a joke. That's not.
I'm not answering that.
Have we got an answer? No, I'm joking. There's no
I
burnouts
was
because kids are mad, right?
I was about to lag some people right there.
Don't do that. No.
Ooh.
It's all about positivity here, right? That was only a joke. Right. Question 1. What is it? It's cold, not frozen, comes in various flavours, and people love to drink
Dad, it's a VB.
it. No.
Well, then you got it wrong.
Complete the question, please, sir.
Yeah, complete the question.
What is it? It's cold, not frozen, comes in various flavours, and people love to drink it at Summer Nats. What's he?
That would be the slushies. My favourite would be the tequila slushie, the margarita.
You got it right, mate.
Couple of drive-throughs over our time.
I bet. All right. Question 2. What is the name of the new event to be held in Sydney this January?
Mad.
Lynch.
Summer Nats Slam.
Correct.
That was me.
Correct. All right. 1-1
Bash
so
it,
far.
Lynch.
Question 3. Finish this song. Cruising on the street, dragging on
My
the track.
sixth bowl. Sorry.
Only at.
Oh, hang on. I buzzed in.
Yeah,
What's
no,
he?
I didn't.
In my sixth ball.
No.
What?
Cruising on the street, dragging on the track, only at the.
Summer Nat.
That'll do.
Yeah, that'll do what.
Pick your game up, mate.
I'm going to pick my game up a bit. I think I'm copping a bit of lag here. I'm going to blame it on that.
Yeah, you got the lag.
Oh, easy.
Don't tell me that phone line's got corona. Far out.
I hate it with that.
All
I'm
right.
taking this pretty serious because I want to beat Lynch for the first and only time in my life.
Well, it's coming close. It's 2-1. Question 4. How many kilowatts was the LS1 VTSS Series 2 rated at in factory form?
195.
Oh, mad. That's
Lynchy.
wrong. And more than 195.
Yeah, that's correct. But if you can guess it, I'll give you double points. One go.
All right, so I reckon the Stroker 5 litre was 215, and I reckon it was about 240.
220.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty close. It's closer
I'll
than
give you
Watson.
one more go if you can tell me how many kilowatts the HSV VT GDS Series 2 made.
215.
Wrong. What's he?
235.
Wrong. It was 300.
What?
235.
It was 300.
Yeah,
Who cares about them stupid Chinese Chevys anyway, mate? Talk about some real horsepower like some 202 and some 308 or something.
We
Some
talking
fresh-
about the VS model, so that would have had a big, absolute plastic
no,
nightmare.
VT.
Oh, VT. Oh, I'm thinking we're talking about 308.
Line's got corona.
308
No,
had
not the
corona from the
308.
start. Anyway.
So it's 2-1, 2 to Watsy, 1 to Lynchy, right? Question 5. Who am I? If you get it right, Lynch, you'll have to go into a last question to try and battle it out.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Who am I? I'm from
Hang
Queensland.
on. If I answer now, does it count me out for the rest of it?
You win. Well, yeah, no, if you answer now, you're out. You get it right. You got to get it right. If you answer, if you buzz in now,
Well, you
you've
said
got to answer it. And if you don't answer,
you said who am I?
no. Question 5, ready?
You
Listen.
said who am I? And
No, not who are you?
You're JBens.
No, he's JBens. I win.
Question 5. Who am I? I'm from Queensland. My burnout car has 2 doors. I
Mad.
attended Lynchy.
Well, Guzikowski.
Oh, he gets it. He gets it. We're going into
No,
a
this is
playoff.
not fair because it was either Will
You didn't buzz in,
Guzikowski
mate. You didn't buzz
or
in.
Tiny Toe.
Well, the next part was going to be, I attended Red Standard at 6, and my skid car trailer is mad.
The biggest of all skid car trailers.
All right, we've got to go into a 6th question. We've got a backup question here. It's going to be
Thank God.
really, really easy. So, what year was the first Summer Nats?
Mad.
That's
Oh, you go, Watts. You got me.
I can't even tell. We're going to.
No.
I can't tell it because this is going to decide it. We can't.
But you go, Watts.
We can't
'cause
end it like this.
I got no idea.
We can't end it like this. Well, we've got to go to a new question. I can't tell the difference between the buzzer. All right, we'll do a new question.
But they're not
Forget it.
sponsored, are they?
Oh, come on.
All right, ready? What is the name of the takeaway joint just outside Summonats?
Shit!
What's he?
McDonald's. Ronald, you Mc...
That's right, though.
It's totally right. You're out. You're out, Lynchy.
I'm done.
Handbag, mate.
I'm thinking of what's the best kebab joint around. That's what all I thought, because I thought that's all you would eat. That's the way you'd think.
Yeah, kebabs are mad.
Yeah, I agree.
Garlic sauce, hot chili.
Yeah, hot chili,
Mad.
sweet chili, all the
Been good. So, Lynchy, you're out, mate.
I'm out.
You're out. What's you're in. You're going to be in the big final. There is actually going to be a really cool prize. So this is for something. Thanks for coming on, fellas.
Good luck, everybody.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Appreciate it. We'll catch
Thank you, and can't wait to see everyone soon.
All right, we're back from a break. Webby, hey, this show's been something interesting, that's for sure.
Yeah, very interesting. quite different, but yeah, a lot of fun, as always.
Yeah, that's it, mate. It's about just, having a good time and not taking ourselves too seriously and talking all things cars with everybody at home and our friends from all the Summonats, it's just such a good, I'm really glad these are back on. Like it's...
Me too. And as I mentioned there, I've had people ask me when they come back on, but this really does, it just absolutely goes to show what a great community we have, from the burnout guys to the rates from the judging side, and everybody's they're just such good people, aren't they?
Absolutely, Webby, and just from being involved in the first season, a lot of things have happened even in so I got to experience my first Red Senators, and what an event that was, and going there, and if you didn't pick me up from the airport when we got there, I'll probably still be waiting at Alice Springs Airport for someone to pick me up, because apparently I was a bit forgotten. No, not really. But I've got back into fixing my car up. That's now at the sandblasters and stuff like that. So it's motivation. And then, absolutely. All right, but talking about, so lots of people that we've just spoken about at Summonats, we're going to redo the fan interaction part, Webby.
Yeah, good. So what we're going to do is get people to send in photos, and we can and a bit of information about their car, and that'll be awesome, because I just mentioned there right at the beginning of the show, I've got over 40 cars that are brand new cars people want unveiled either at MotorX or MotorX in February next year, or at the March event in Canberra. So I'm sure some of those guys will probably contact us, but there's plenty of other cars being worked on out there. So that's a great segment to have on our podcast.
Absolutely, and the fan interaction part, we want to hear from you guys. Podcast at summonats.com.au. What we want to hear, we want to see, send us a photo of the car your dad had when you were 18 that you loved, or when you were growing up as a kid, anything with a bit of a blurb. Show us a photo, and we'll go into detail with that this season. We'll show, we want to put you guys on the podcast too, because this is for you. I think, and it'd be nice to see what everybody's been up to as well in your garage. So feel free to email us those photos and a bit of info, and we'll do our best to put it on the podcast.
That's something interesting you said there, JBens. I've actually got probably 2 or 3 guys I've been talking to in the last couple of weeks. They're actually rebuilding their parents, their mum or their dad's cars. So I've got a couple of them coming up. So, that's always a great story, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, that's it for the first show, Webby.
Yep. Awesome.
We got to say that Summit.
First one down. Now, it must be going to be on for 10 weeks because I've already made the mention that I'm going to have 10 weeks with Rachel. So
10 episodes, absolutely. So this will go through over Christmas. So we'll be with you all over Christmas. We'll be with you during and after Summer Slam. So we'll do a post podcast wrap-up show of that, and then the week after that. And then we might go on a bit of a break, and then we'll see what happens. Who knows?
Yeah.
It might go longer, but at this stage it's 10. So stick around with us, definitely. We want to say that Summer Slam tickets and entries are on sale now for spectators and obviously entrants. The tickets are limited, and there is no spectator tickets available at the gate. So if you want to get some, please get them online at summernats.com.au. There's a whole lot of links there now that lead to a lot of all the events leading into 21. Really nice and simple. And the other one is that there's a merch link there as well. The new merch dropping on the Summernats website. Well, it's probably already dropped yesterday, actually, to tell you the truth. So at summernats.com.au, you can get the new merch. I hear there's some new Summernats Slam merch. A little birdie might have said that's
Christmas presents, JBens.
And Christmas present merch. And there's obviously there's some new Burnout Masters merch. So get on there and get your stuff there for sure at summernats.com.au. We're done. That's it. It's over. What a crazy episode. John O'Kelly, thanks to him. Thanks to Rachel. Thanks to you, Webby.
Oh, good.
Thanks to Lynchy, Matt Watts, everybody.
Thanks, mate.
Did I leave anyone off? I don't know.
No. See you next week.
Perfect. All right. We'll see you next Tuesday. Who did I forget? I forgot someone. Rachel, Webby, Dave Caffone, John O'Kelly. No.